Hey everyone, how we doing today? This is James Sweeney, aka Split Suit, and today I want to look at a quick hand from the Red Chip Poker Forums. This was posted by Sully O. He's playing 2-5 live. There is an open for 20, a call by the button. Here decides to 3-bet from the small blind to 100 with ace king off. Totally typical, totally standard, good size. We get called by the original raiser, and the button folds. So in this situation, Villain, who opened from middle position, started the hand with roughly 70 big blinds. So when we get here after the squeeze, you notice that we're in roughly a 1 SPR pot. We have about 250 back, we have about 225 in the middle, so about 1 SPR. Now, just conceptually speaking, with such a small SPR, what that means is that I'm automatically taking top pairs to the felt, over pairs to the felt, big draws to the felt, etc. So because of that, when we catch top pair here, it's not a question of am I going to stack off, it's simply a question of how am I going to stack off in this situation. So when we get here, we really have three different options. We can jam, because it's an effective jam, whether we bet here for like 150, 200, or just shove it ourselves. So we can get it in right this moment. We could check to him, try to induce, or we could bet something silly, maybe something like $30 or $50, something to really kind of confuse him, raise that eyebrow, and maybe make him make some sort of mistake. So if you've seen any sort of aggression from him, I really like checking, because he's probably just going to fire off with his entire range. Maybe he thinks I have something like queens, thinks I can fold it, and obviously we can induce that jam from him. That's great. But unfortunately, Hero says that he has no read on this opponent because he just joined the game. So in general, in a situation like this is a really bad texture. And it's a bad texture because if Villain has something like 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, there are two overcards to it, and it's very reasonable that I hit one of them. So it's one of those where I think that if we jam, he's going to be folding a lot of hands. Sure, if he has ace queen or ace king or maybe even pocket kings, he'll get a little sticky with those. Sure, if he has pocket jacks, sure, just sucks to be us, just is what it is. But my real question is, how can I really max value from the bulk of his range? And I think in this exact situation, given the exact texture, you could probably make a little more value by betting something weird like $40. Because I think if you bet $40, he's going to look at it and be like, oh my god, that's so incredibly small, that's so weak. So maybe he peels off a little bit wider with something like pocket 10s. Maybe he decides to shove thinking I'm doing something silly with queens, then I'm just going to like bet small and then fold. Mind you, I'm not going to, but he doesn't necessarily know that. So it's just one of those where I think in this exact situation, if you've ever seen aggression from him, checking becomes totally cool. Otherwise, there's a lot of validity for betting that weird number like $40, try to induce that big mistake from him, and then obviously snap it if, he calls you, or if he jams himself, snap it. If he calls, then pretty much do the same thing again on the turn and start getting that stack inside as quickly as possible. If you're interested in any other small SPR tips and pots that have 2 SPR or lower, 1 SPR and lower, check out a video series that I have for sale in the Red Chip Poker Store. It's called the Small SPR series. It would definitely help you a ton if you're looking for extra creative ways to play these spots, or if you're not really sure how to play small SPR pots in the first place. So, Sully-O, thanks so much for posting this great hand. Hopefully this answer gets you started if you find yourself in a similar situation in the future. And also please make sure to post any other interesting hands that you have. And if you're watching this and you've never posted on the forum before, just create an account, throw in a hand, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. Look forward to talking to you on the forums. Good luck out there, and happy grinding.